Hey, what's up, my friends? Chadi Bazzi here. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're a brand new agent or someone has been in the business for a while and you're kind of feeling stuck, then this video is for you. And this video is going to change how you are showing up to your prospecting calls, how you're showing up to the appointments, and how you're showing up to all your listing conversations moving forward. So we're talking about how to speak like a top listing agent, even if you are brand new in real estate. No more sounding like a robot, no more sounding like a rookie, no more winging it, and no more second guessing yourself. You're gonna learn how to speak with power, confidence, and control, even if the seller is pushing back at you. So let's dive in. And let me give it to you straight, most agents sound very uncertain. And the best part is they don't even realize how uncertain they sound, but the sellers are picking up on it. Their tone is off. The pacing is demonstrating how nervous they are. The words are 100% memorized, but the energy is totally out of alignment. And what you now realize is you cannot fake confidence. You cannot mask hesitation. And you definitely cannot close a seller on the idea of working with you if you don't even believe like who you are is the best option for them anyways. And here's the truth. You don't need any more new or better scripts. You need to own the script that you already have. So let's break this down. There are 3 different voice patterns that top listing agents use, and I'm gonna go over all 3 of them with you right now. Pattern number 1 is what we call the command voice. This is not yelling. This is calm, grounded certainty. An example is you say, let's get this on the market this week. And when you use the command voice, there are 3 things I want you to do. Number 1, slow down. Number 2, lower your tone. And number 3, pause with intention. So try this out loud right now and say the following. Here's what we are going to do. You see, that's power. Now we're going to go over pattern number 2, which is what we call the expert reframe. Using the expert reframe, you're shifting the conversation from resistance to expert leadership. So as an example, you're having a conversation with the seller and the seller says, well, I'd like to list high and maybe come down later. You're going to reframe that without getting argumentative. And you're going to redirect the conversation with empathy. And you're going to speak like a pro because that's who you are. And that's how you have to show up because that's who they're looking for. To give you an example, when the seller says we want to list high and come down later, you're going to say something along the line of like, I totally get that. Most sellers I work with feel exactly as you do when we begin working with each other. But here's what we've discovered. Pricing it right up front attracts more buyers and gets you a better offer. So again, you're going to reframe without arguing. You're going to redirect with empathy. And you're going to speak like the professional that they're looking for. Now let's move on to pattern number 3. This is what we like to call the micro close pause. An example, sounds like everything makes sense. So let's go ahead and sign the paperwork. Did you see what I did? Did you notice the pause? See, the pause is what gives them the opportunity to make a decision, and you gotta let them sit in that. Let me repeat that one more time, and I will do the emphasis on exactly how it should be done. Sounds like everything we've talked about makes absolutely perfect sense. I paused. Therefore, the next logical thing to do is to start the paperwork. Like, do you notice what I did? There was a pause. There was 2 pauses in that statement. You can go back and rewind it and listen to it again. There were 2 pauses in that statement, and then there was the embedded command of like, let's get started now. And you see, you may not be okay currently speaking with the pause because the pause is a moment of silence. And the rookies make the mistake of always having to feel like they need to speak much to fill in the silence, as if that is going to get the sellers to side with you, when in reality, it confuses them. So less is more. Now we're going to talk about how to practice sounding like the powerful agent that you are. The powerful agent that they're looking for. So here's what I want you to do every single day for the next 7 days. Number 1, I want you to start doing some mirror work each and every single morning. So every single morning, you're going to sit in front of the mirror, you're going to look straight into your eyes, and you are going to say powerful phrases to yourself. phrases like, I am the number one agent in my marketplace. I speak with power and certainty. When people hear the sound of my voice, it instantly creates rapport. People want to speak to me. People invite me into their home to talk about their biggest asset. And then when I begin to speak, the things that I speak about on my listing presentation, they feel very inclined to do business with me immediately. What are we doing here? We are selling ourselves on how powerful we are. And when we begin to embody this kind of power, that's the kind of power that we transfer onto the sellers when we are speaking directly to them. And that is the difference that makes the difference that gets them to choose you versus the competition. The second thing I want you to do is what's called the voice conditioning. I want you to take one line from your script at a time. We're going to work on this one line at a time. And you're going to practice that line 10 different ways. You're going to practice it slow. You're going to practice it fast. You're going to practice it with pauses. You're going to practice it loud. You're going to practice it soft. You're going to practice it with emphasis, and you're going to practice it with power, etc. I want you to be able to communicate the same thing in a multiple different ways. This gives you the ability to practice your greatest asset. And your greatest asset as a sales professional is flexibility. Flexibility meaning that you're able to alter, shift, and change what you say, how you say it, and your way of being in any given moment to get the sellers to choose you. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to record yourself every single day and go back and listen to it. Record yourself doing a mock call or a role play session or maybe even a real conversation. Then I want you to go back and listen to it. And when you listen to it, I want you to listen to it with no judgment, just awareness. And as you're listening to it, I want you to ask yourself the question of like, how do I sound? Do I sound like a leader? Would I trust this voice I'm hearing? Would I list with this person that's speaking? And when you begin to hear yourself as a seller hears you, this is where you begin to quantum leap your growth. And look, my friends, the truth is you don't need a lot of experience to sound like the professional they're looking for. All you need is a few minutes with the right intention. Some of my best students are brand new in the business, zero experience, zero sales, zero everything. But they showed up with certainty. They speak with conviction and they lead the conversations. That's why they're getting the listings. Because at the end of the day, sellers are not looking for the agent with the resume or the agent with the flashy, glossy pre-listing package and brochure or PowerPoint or laptop or whatever you're taking with you on a listing presentation. They're looking for someone that they can trust. And trust can be built in just a matter of a few seconds. In your voice, in your tone, and in your presence. So let's wrap up this conversation, my friends. If you want to take more listings and you want to take them very fast, then you have to sound like someone who takes a lot of listings and takes them fast. So I want you to start using the command voice I taught you today. I want you to master the expert reframe I went over with you today. I want you to begin to pause like a closer, just the way I just did right now, and practice with purpose every single day. And if you're ready to stop sounding scripted and finally speak with power, presence, and influence, then I invite you to a conversation with me via Zoom. Simply look for the link in the description below. Schedule your call with me and let's go over your scripting and fix it once and for all. I'll see you in the next episode.